Hello and welcome to episode number 42 of No Whining. We are in the final episode of our 7th wine list today. So let's get started with our first wine. This is a 2018 Bodegas Naia des Verdejo. This is a $35 bottle of wine coming from the Rueda DO. DO stands for Denominación de Origen, which is within the larger Duero Valley, within the larger Castilla y León region, within the larger Meseta Central in Spain. Again, this is the whole Spanish nesting doll thing that we have come to love so much. Here we go. This is 100% Verdejo, and Verdejo is the king grape, right? It is representing around 80% of Rueda's plantings. Sauvignon Blanc is also planted here, but obviously to a much lesser degree. Here's some information from the grape tech sheet. It says the grapes used in this wine are grown on pre-phylloxera vines. Now that is pretty stellar. That is very, very unusual. So pre-phylloxera vines that are over a century old. So something else that is actually pretty extraordinary. It says the soil. The soils are composed of calcareous clays over which lie superficial layers of sandy clay mixed with cobbles or stones. This is a continental climate with dry, cold winters, hot summers, and a contrast of temperatures between night and day during the last summer months. The vintage. The 2018 harvest was marked by a delay in the vegetative cycle due to weather conditions. Intense rainfall in winter and spring made up for the deficit of the previous vintage by maintaining a water reserve that was crucial for a generous quality harvest. Winemaking. Harvesting is carried out manually, so in other words, by hand. A first maceration of the entire grape is carried out in a cooling chamber. The grapes undergo a selection process before a cold maceration of the destemmed grapes and its subsequent pressing and fermentation in barrels. Batonnage is carried out during the barrel aging process, 7 months on the lees in French oak barrels, 100% French oak barrels with a slight and medium char. Okay, there you have it. That is all the background. Let's get into this wine. This wine is clear. It looks to be a medium gold color, and I'm gonna say medium plus viscosity on the sides of the glass there. Let's give it to the schnoz for a first glance. This wine is clean. It seems to be developing a little bit. Medium plus intensity aromas, starting out with like a, I don't know how to describe it other than like buttered lemon. Some candied apricot and nectarine, maybe a little bit of passion fruit in here as well. I'm also detecting a little bit of honey. There's some hints of almond in here. There's also some ginger, a little bit of fennel. And I'm gonna round this out with, I'd say it's like a mineral note to it, a mineral quality, maybe like crushed rock. Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the schnoz. Now it is time to take it to the jaws. This wine is lovely. It's got this really, really nice silky texture to it. It's dry, medium minus on the body, high alcohol, only medium in terms of the acidity itself, and then the flavor intensity is medium plus as it was on the nose. It's carrying over to the palate. So this is really, really, really nice. This is outstanding. Like, what a gorgeous expression of the Verdejo grape. Like, this is absolutely wonderful. It's bold and silky at the same time. It's got this really nice, again, texture, satisfying finish, a long finish, and this beautiful flavor integration. So this is a magnificent way to start out this episode. Probably actually not going to make it easier in terms of me choosing winners from wine list number 7, because I'm pretty sure we have another runner in the mix. But anyway, we will deal with that later. Let's go to our second wine. Actually, before we do that, I just want to say one other thing real quick. I think that this would be suitable for additional bottle aging, which I'm surprised at. This is not necessarily like a grape variety that's known for that. It can oxidize really quickly, but I honestly think a couple more years in bottle, because the tertiary notes in this, like the honeyed notes, They're so lovely. I think a couple more years would make this wine even better than it is right now, but it is stellar as it stands. Okay, now we're going to wine number 2. This is a 2019 Yacoubian-Hobbs Areni. This is a $35 bottle of wine. This is coming from the Verdejo region in Armenia. It is a dry continental climate here, known for high altitudes for its vineyards, right? Volcanic soils. And Armenia is a place that receives incredibly little attention, quite frankly, and little mention in the wine world, despite some terrific wines being made here from the 400 plus indigenous grape varieties. And the fact that it is home to, get this, the world's oldest known winery from over 6,100 years ago. So talk about a place with wine history. Like, this is absolutely it. Now, Armenia, after being under Soviet rule since 1920, has mounted this comeback in winemaking after once again realizing its independence in 1991. Now, I pulled some information for you from their website. Varietal composition, 90% Areni, an ancient variety indigenous to Armenia. Areni has adapted perfectly to the high-altitude mountainous region of Verdejo. Sorry, I said that wrong. Verdejo, okay, where the vines thrive on the rocky, mineral-rich volcanic soils. This late ripening grape makes fresh, elegant, structured wines with bright red fruit flavors and a characteristic black pepper spice. The other 10% of this wine is made from Caquette, a late ripening indigenous variety showcasing a dark, concentrated color with delicate floral aromas accented by notes of forest fruits and a pronounced tannic structure. Its high level of natural acidity lends vibrancy and ageability to the finished wines. The elevation of the vineyards here are over 4,000 feet. Winemaking, stainless steel tank fermented and aged. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ripping on this. All right, this is a clear wine. I'm gonna call this a pale ruby. It does fade out to just a little bit of a hint on the rim of some garnet, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it light or pale ruby, and medium viscosity on the sides of the glass there. Let's send it to the schnoz. All right, this wine is clean. It is developing as well, and medium plus in terms of the intensity or the concentration of the aromas, and starting out with a little bit of red currant, which is quite lovely. Let's go back in. Stewed strawberry and cherry, a little bit of dried, I'm gonna say raspberry here. Let's go back in. Got some floral in here as well, some lilac, like dried, I'm gonna say dried violet. Got some allspice in here, some pine notes as well, along with like cut hay. Okay, I think there's just a little bit more. Let's go back in. Yeah, maybe subtle hints of clove is the last thing I would have to say about this on the nose. Okay, it is time for the big show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's send it to the palate and see what she has to say. This wine is dry, medium minus on the body, or sort of like the heft of it. High alcohol. The acid is probably medium plus. Tannins, medium on this. Medium intensity on the flavors as well, but it's got this soft, beautiful, juicy texture to it. And then a medium plus finish. Like, this wine is definitely very good. It's got these pure, defined flavors to it, and then this like gorgeous finish, and all the elements to this are in balance. Again, it's elegant, it's beautiful, but it's got power behind it. Like, this is actually, to me, like exactly a representation of like the power of the feminine, quite frankly. Like, this is amazing, right? Like, a wine can be incredibly powerful without having like over the top intensity. Again, like I said, this is elegant, it's inviting, it just brings you in, it invites you to take another sip. And isn't that what a magnificent wine is really all about at the end of the day? So I'm going to say that this is not suitable for bottle aging. It's got it's not that it can't handle a little bit more, but the fact that it has such perfect integration of all the components and the structure and the flavors and the aromas right now. It's one of those things where I don't feel like you want to chance it and mess with some of those pieces falling apart. So I would say this is not suitable for bottle aging, but it is absolutely phenomenally drinkable right now. So let us bring both of our contestants for the day in. The question is, which wine is the best wine? Which wine is the best wine here? I wonder what you think. I wonder how you feel about this. What speaks to you? What your palate prefers? I must tell you that I cannot pick between the two of these. Like, these are evenly matched. They are both amazing in their own right, like fantastic wines, both of them. I think the price points on these are absolutely reasonable. I think they're the same price basically. So I'm going to put these on equal footing with one another. There's nothing to really say that one should be, elevated above the other. So these are both flippin' fantastic, and that is the perfect way to round out our 7th wine list. A couple things though. Before we go, we're going to pick our runners up as well as our winners from wine list number 7. And I just want to make sure that I say it now while I'm thinking about it. Check out the links that I included in the description of the video, because again, you get some behind the scenes and being able to look at the different countries and the different vineyards and the winemakers that are putting their heart and soul into bringing us these lovely, lovely wines. So check out those videos in the description, included links for you. And let's get into our wine list number 7 winners. Okay, let's do the white first. I am going to give, okay, these two wines just screwed the whole thing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an honorable mention wine for both red and whites, I think is what I'm going to have to do here. So let's give that for the white wines to this Levagli Verdejo de Castelli di Jesi. This was an amazing wine. Really inexpensive, quite frankly, but definitely not cheaply made. And again, subtle, simple, wasn't trying to be more than it was, just like very, very straightforward, lovely wine. So this was absolutely terrific. This was a 2023 vintage. Okay, and then our runner-up for the whites, I am going to give it to our wine from today. This Naia Verdejo, this 2018, is pretty stinking fantastic. I mean, I have had Verdejo before. We actually tasted another one a number of episodes ago, and it was nowhere near the sophistication that this has. Like, this is absolutely terrific. I'm going to go out and buy myself more bottles of this for sure. Okay, so that is our runners up for the whites. And then our winner of the white wines, actually, I'm going to do our reds first. We'll do a big build up and then reveal the final two. Okay, so I'm going to go with giving honorable mention, because I can't not do it, to this Yacoubian-Hobbs Areni. This is absolutely awesome. I hope you agree at home. Like, what a special wine, what a rare wine coming from a corner of the world that it does not get enough attention, especially with the history it has for vinification. So this was just absolutely terrific. I love this wine. Okay, so that's getting honorable mention for sure. And then our runner-up for the reds is this Red Schooner Transit number 2. Okay, so this was absolutely awesome and very, very, very close to the red wine that I picked for the overall winner. But this was neck and neck, and who knows, maybe if I could go back and like pour myself a glass of each of these, it would change. But I do think in the end, I'm making the right pick, but I just don't want to shortchange this wine, because this is absolutely magnificent as our red runner-up. Okay, now let's get to our number ones. Okay, for the white wines, our overall winner is this 2017 Clos Mogador Nelen from Priorat. This is a skin contact white wines, is basically an orange wine, right? Like macerates on the skins throughout the fermentation, plenty of skin contact, which is very, very different. And you'll remember in the episode we had on this, it might have been the last episode, but or maybe a couple ago, you see the amber color that comes out of that, which is very unusual for the wine, but also those beautiful aromatic notes, like the strength and the power of those and the power on the palate, some of those nutty characteristics. Like this was just absolutely terrific. Not inexpensive, but definitely worth the price. So that is number one of the whites. Let's go to number one for the reds. This 2016 Apellido Tinto Vino Regional Alentejano. This was absolutely amazing and like very, very affordable, but just like a gorgeous wine with depth, with complexity, with power, with conviction, with restraint where it needed to have it. And I was just so surprised by this beautiful Portuguese red wine. Not surprised, but delighted, because Portugal makes exceptional wines. So not surprised, but very much delighted, as I hope you have been with wine list number 7. I hope you have enjoyed it. I can't wait to be back with you in episode number 43.